Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, tonight I'm going to be talking about AB5 and if anything has changed with Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, or Grubhub. So, if anybody doesn't know, in California, AB5 was passed on January 1st, 2020, where basically they made independent contractors, employees, or they're trying to at least. And I believe that truck drivers and a couple other basically freelancers were able to either avoid it or they're just getting more time for the hearing. But I'm just gonna discuss if anything's changed with our apps, the food apps. So I'm gonna start with Uber. Uber changed a lot actually. So before AB5, or even actually a week ago, Uber was only showing us the time to the restaurant, and that was it. And then I turned on my Uber app, and it was showing me where the restaurant was and the customer's house was. And that was cool. And then a couple days later, it actually showed me the total miles, how much I'm getting paid, and the distance from the customer to, the restaurant to the customer. So they're actually changed a lot, at least in California. They're giving you all the information out, which is very good. And if you're cherry picking, that's really good too, because then you can take out your short distance better. And then, if you don't think going long distance is worth it, then you can just avoid those. And for the most part, what I've seen is they'll pay you about $1 per mile. That's what I've seen for the most part. Or maybe in the shorter ones, they'll pay you like for 2 miles, they'll pay you like $4.40, $5 for like around the mid fours and the fives. But it's a very good thing that they're actually giving us a lot of information now. So, I'm sorry about that. The ambulance just went past. But it's very good that they're giving us all the information that we can have. So, Uber is actually better for the driver now because you can cherry pick if you're multi-app and you know where you're going with Uber and you don't have to worry about, oh man, should I accept this other offer coming up or not? Or where am I going to end up? You're going to know exactly where you end up. You still need to know your maps, your Uber maps, because it doesn't tell it's not too detailed like DoorDash. So, and then that's the next one. So with DoorDash, they haven't changed anything. The app is still the same. The only thing that changed was, oh yeah, you can see your active time and how long you've been working, like how much you make, like it's just that's the only difference. But like they've always shown you how many miles. They've shown you the total payout for the most part, and then they'll tell you the restaurant. So they're basically the same thing. They haven't done basically anything. And then with Grubhub, the same thing. You still just know where the restaurant is. You have to calculate the miles, or you kind of have to take a guess. But for the most part, it's still the same. With Postmates, I actually haven't turned that on, so I'm not sure if anybody knows. But Postmates is very popular in Los Angeles, but I don't even bother turning it on because it just doesn't pay well, and they don't tell you how much you're making. But yeah, so for the most part, nothing's really changed except for Uber. Uber is the one that's really just changed everything. So, and that's a better thing for cherry pickers. So, if you're a cherry picker or multi-appen, then Uber has become a better way to do it. Their pay still isn't the best, but from what I've seen, I feel like their pay is actually better than other people's in other states when it comes to showing all the information. I feel like they took a big pay cut, and I feel like in California at least, we didn't take that much of a pay cut, or it's still the same as the old pay model. So it's not too bad, to be honest with you, especially with the upfront, them telling you how much you're making upfront. And then like I said, so right now they're not really getting enforced the AB5 rules because most likely than not, they're gonna fight it. They're gonna appeal it. So they're gonna drag it out. Basically, they're gonna drag it out as much as they can. And then I just feel like, for the most part, I feel like Grubhub's not. I feel like they don't care anymore. Like they're just the same. Like they're just there. Uber's the only one that's really being very proactive, just in case AB5 does go through. So That's a good thing. Or they're changing it to comply with the rules for AB5. And yeah, like I said, they're not gonna do anything until it's settled. And then even if it does settle, or they do grant that, what's it called, AB5 passes, you know, they still have to take the test. And then even if they might fail the test, they're talking about doing a ballot. Them, DoorDash, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Instacart, I believe, for the next election. So they're gonna try to drag it out as long as they can, and that's what they'll probably do. So, but for the most part, right now, everything is, like I said, the same except Uber Eats. Uber Eats has really changed a lot, and for the better. Like, I wouldn't say it's one of my top 2 apps yet, but I definitely do them whenever DoorDash and Grub are slow. I would do Uber Eats short distance ones, because for the most part those are easy, fast, and we already know for the most part Uber Eats does give you the food very fast. And since I know my area pretty well, I know to stay in certain spots where I won't go too far. And luckily I've been getting tipped pretty well. I actually, last week I did 5 trips, and I think only one of them didn't tip, but the rest of them were, I believe, $4 tips, all of them. So they've been worth it, especially because I'm only going 2 to 3 miles away. So that's a good thing. So yeah, that's about it. That's the only thing that's changed with AB5. And then, you know, we'll see what comes up in the next months. But for now, that's the only changes. But anyways, thanks guys.